And, so I keep thinking, my father was not a rich man, he was not a poor man, but he was a lower middle class. He was a civil servant. If he had told me that, look, he has had enough, you go and work first before university, you've done well, you do. If I had continued like that, how would I have ended up? And so many of these kids on Lagos Island, I grew up between Isalegogo, Itafaji, and Campus Square. We knew ourselves. Education, education, education.
So let me take you a bit back, okay, to independence. Okay, you were already grown, a teenager at that period, so you should be aware of what was the air like in Nigeria? What was the expectation of Nigerians, entering into independence?
No, let me take it back to the 40s. Grandpa died. In fact, we are celebrating his 80th anniversary this year. That's Papa Hellas about Macaulay.
He passed on in the north.
No. He passed on in Lagos. He visited Kano.
Okay.
Trying to woo them to listen so that we could work together
for independence.
For the
At the time, the north was not
ready. They were not ready. They were looking at this man. Is there a trust? The British planted two evils in this country. Two evils. The first is religion. The second is tribalism. Those two evils, until we get the hell out of that syndrome, to realize that you are just a human being created in the image of the Almighty God. Because who asked God when you were coming? You say, I want to be Igbo, I want to be Yoruba, I want to be Hausa. Did you ask? And in the Holy Book, it is explicitly written, both in the Torah for the Jews, the Quran for the Muslims, and the Holy Bible, the Old Testament. Love your neighbor as yourself. He didn't tell you love your Yoruba man.
Just neighbor.
No. So where did we get this nonsense? And the day you pack up, they just, the Muslim will wrap you up, throw you in there. The Christian will be looking for coffin to, but you are gone. Now look at this year. And I am advising those in power in this country now that the Almighty God, as a believer, is visiting this country. And I am relating it to the story of the Israelites when they left Egypt. You remember they got to a point where Moses was completely confused. He couldn't provide water for them. Some people were started rioting, trying to, and he went to pray to God. And God said, okay, you stand aside here, you please. And all those other people were buried instantly. The land just opened up and swallowed them. This year is a visitation to the rest of the world. Mr. Trump said last night that over this weekend he would make a decision to strike Iran. Look, I trained with the U.S. Naval College. I was there. I know the powers that they have militarily. You want to exercise those powers on the Iranians. You can only know the beginning of crisis. You can never tell
how far it would go.
Now, so for me, I said the Ramadan, that's the Muslim time of fasting and prayer. The Lent started on the same day this year. Isn't that some kind of a modicum of us to sit back that we are all worshiping the same God? And we will one day return back to report what you did while you were on this earth. There is no perpetuity in anything. Anything human, there's no perpetuity in it. So I am appealing to all those who are managing us now. Kadankara, like the Hausas will say. Wayo, like the Igbos will say. In Yoruba land, we say Tejejeo. This is the year for justice, for fairness, and equity. If we miss them, I'm on the 8th floor of life. The outcome that we'll see will be worse than what those Israelis saw from God directly. And ours will be worse than Hiroshima. We got to be very careful. It is me. I am the only one. It is my own. The day you die, what will be your own?
Nothing.
General Alexander conquered the then whole world. While heading back to his village with all the loot and everything, he caught malaria on the way back. The doctors told him there's nothing they could do. At that time, he was only 32 years old. What happened to him? He said, okay, start throwing, give out all this loot. He gave them. He said, if he dies before he gets home, they should put him in a coffin, put his hands out of the coffin, so that people will see that he's going home with nothing. We got to sit down in this country. There is no puppet. Yeah, I said I wanted to start from that. Papa came back and had a pneumonia. He got a pneumonia coming from Ghana. Came and he died. Before he died, in the mid-40s, Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe had arrived. Prolific writer, profound politician. Papa drew him. Yes. To him as a son. I knew him. I met Papa Azikiwe. He was created by God specially. You know why? He spoke fluent Yoruba.
He did?
Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe. Fluent Hausa and fluent Igbo. Papa took him. We knew nobody as Papa's son, me growing up, than Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe. We will come to the house. So, by the time the Papa Awolowo, F.R.A. Williams, Ijebu Thomas, and all the heavyweights in Western region came, Papa had gone. Never met them. Then the politics started. The 1952 election. I remember very well, we had only radio stations, those red diffusions.
The transistor radio.
Yeah, red diffusion. So my father gave me the paper, the list of the names of those, to be as they are announcing the result. I was the one writing, picking and writing the figures and all that. That's when I got quite involved in knowing what exactly was going on. Remember the crisis, what happened in Western region? They said that because nobody saw Azikiwe as Igbo. No. They saw him as Papa Macaulay's his son. And I tell you what, the federal elections that we had until sometimes it's the other 60s, there were always two contestants. We had two federal constituencies in Lagos, mainland and island. Toss Benson represented NCNC in the mainland, and Papa D.M. Johnson in Lagos. We always won. You know why? We didn't look at Zik as an Igbo man. He was Macaulay son. So That was how NCNC carried these two federal constituencies. Now, the 1952 crisis in Western region, you know, all the stories we had, the NCNC won Western region. Adelabu, Adegoke, Penkelemes, you know, the man was a unique human being. He was a thoroughbred Ibadan man. Adelabu Adegoke. His nickname was Benkelemes. Nothing saying there is no nonsense acceptable here. This is their hometown. But somehow, the politics, tribal politics crept in. Overnight, those who had won on the side of NCSC cross-carpeted, and that was how we saw. The British were here. They promoted the nonsense. In the north, no matter who the heck you are, they wanted the north for themselves, thinking that they could always perpetually control the north. And that is the mess we still have ourselves. My best friend in life till today is a Fulani man, a wealthy, first-class, homebred Fulani man. We met in the Navy. We are human beings. All these differences, we don't need them. He was my friend. I met him, came back on course. I didn't have a car. They gave me a place to stay in the barracks. I stood at the gate of the barracks heading to the base, and the fellow came. He had his own car. He was going to work. He said, "Sobe, where are you going?" I said, "Naval base." I said, "Hop in." From that hour till now, he is my family. He is my brother. So what is it that is driving us nuts? Promoting illegalities, promoting idiocy, promoting lunacy, to gain what? Come to this where I grew up, on the Lagos Island. If I take you there now, you run and you break the world record. I'm not joking, because the kind of characters that are there. So what happened to them? My father was not a rich man, was a civil servant. He fought in the war and then joined the civil service. Sent us to school. We went to free school. Secondary school, free.
Which one was it? Civil War or the British?
No, the Second World War.
Second.
Well, he was in Burma.
Oh.
So came home, and then what? We had turned ourselves against ourselves for selfish reasons, and we are running now to hell. You got a position, you think there will be no end of it? Well, I'm talking now about Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe. Is he still alive?
No.
We're talking about Awolowo. They have run their races. They are gone. Where are we, the Gen Z generation? What future do we have for them? What future? What do we have for these people? Nothing. If I go home, the boys you see are smoking hemp or taking cocaine or doing yahoo yahoo. So is that the future for this nation? This is why I said we want to talk to them. On the 11th of April, we have a national discourse. What we went through. What are you guys going through now? Go to Panti, the central police station there. See the kids, 12-year-old, 13, 14,
yes,
who have committed. Their parents are even the ones sending them to Yahoo school. Is that the future? Is that the future? Ask the people in Abuja. Madam President, Mrs. President, wanted to set up National Library and said, contribute money to my pocket to her personal account. Okay, good. If you want to use the money to immortalize yourself, okay, go and do it. But is that what is needed by these people? How would they get to that library in Abuja? How? From his village. Even me, retired general, what is my pension? 225,000 naira. If I fly to Abuja once, I can't come back. No. And so why are we deceiving ourselves? 225,000 naira. That's all we get. Go and check it. But thank God Baba Sanjo increased it a bit. Otherwise it will be maybe 100 and something thousand. So we need to sit down. Now you can see everybody, some people are jumping all over the whole place as if they were here in perpetuity, that God. For where? We cannot contest in River State tomorrow or this Saturday. No. PDP disqualified. ADC disqualified. Labour Party disqualified. The only party contesting is what do you call them? It's APC. That's a joke. Is that the future? Is that what we want? So, coming back to your question, I told you about these 50s. Okay, Awolowo won. Most of those people, NCNC, cross-carpeted to a action group. Now, Papa, Nnamdi Azikiwe now got annoyed and left for the East. Okay, fine. Awolowo did some magic with his team. Unbelievable. That was the period I entered primary school in 1951 or so. By 1960, we were done the exam to go to school. I remember in my family house, we had a tenant who is an Ijebu man. I was very rascally. I was in primary school, football, and I wasn't pretty inclined into academics, but football. I was well known in my area. They called me, I had a nickname, Kekere Onola. That's how I was. Kute Onola, the little, I was, Tunde Disu too played in my team. That was the center forward, who was an Igbo boy. He also came from the mainland. The three of us, the 7 aside. So, and I was very popular. But for academics, so the man said, I got admission to Baptist Academy and Methodist Boys High School. He advised my father and said, no, that he should send me out of Lagos to go to Ijebu Ode Grammar School. Oh, how you think? I had never traveled beyond the mainland in my life. That's how they bundled me into this transport box. I headed to Ijebu Ode, got there, went to the school, did the exam, and they accepted me. That was how my whole life changed.
Yes, take it in a different direction.